So I was studying this Korean artist Rhino Tuna, who's known for turning random things like a Twitch logo, a mouthwash, and Minesweeper into cute anime girls. And what makes his design so successful is not only the tactical design concepts, but also 3 very important mindset shifts as an artist. So I will walk you through how Rhino actually designs his characters and how we can apply these into our own drawing process by thinking like an art director. Let's go. Rhino always starts with one rule. His colors have to match the reference. That one rule guides everything else. In fact, everything about the colors, like the ratio, number of hues, and even the placements sometimes are exactly like the reference. For example, the midsection of the parrot is yellow, so of course this apron covering the midsection of the character is also yellow. The blues in the outer areas are pretty even in terms of ratio with the yellows. And finally, for accent colors, a splash of white on the bandana and the tank top with black hair to match the head of the bird in the reference. On a similar note, these 2 brown color schemes have very similar ideas behind what we just discussed. Again, toying with the idea of placements, the top of the beer mug is this layer of white foam. So you see that reflected as the white hair, white feathers of the hat, and the white cape all grouped at the top. The brownish colors of the beer itself is more in the midsection here and the pants. The glasses here to balance out the overwhelming white surrounding the face and also just to draw some visual interest to the face. Continuing with the alcoholic themes, the inside of this character has the color of the liquor, while the packaging is this matching black with outfit on him. One thing with colors is you never want to have too many layers that overlap with each other with the same color, unless you're trying to make a camouflage character, I guess, but generally you want to keep things staggered like this to add visual interest across the design. And there will be times where you will encounter more complicated color schemes like this. Here you want to focus on controlling the amount that each saturated colors have, in other words, ratio. Following the easy 70, 20, and 10 rule for colors will guarantee that your color palette stays harmonious. And placing the accent colors at strategic places in the design will also help guide the viewer's eye. Letting the colors and their ratio, hue, and placements in the reference guide the design process is the same as setting certain parameters in your art overall. If we zoom out a little and look at Rhino's body of work, they look really consistent. Colors is one of them, but there are other factors at play that give you that sense of, this is a Rhino Tuna drawing. By setting certain rules to your art, you give yourself direction and treat your drawings more like a project. I don't know about you, but this actually motivates me more than drawing random pieces of fan art every time. I'll go into more of Rhino's creative process behind coming up with ideas that are also consistent and how to flesh out ideas so they come to life. But before that, let's put on our entrepreneur hats for a minute here, because for creatives like you and me, a print-on-demand service like Printful is literally a perfect fit for the creative business model. All you need to do is design something, drag and drop it on a hoodie, a mug, or even a pillow. You don't need to worry about printing machines, packaging, or any of that boring stuff, because Printful will handle all these things for you, so you can just focus on what you do best. Alright, let me show you how easy this is. I just upload my art here, choose what products I want it on, and there are a lot of different stuff you can print your art on. Resize and edit the art so it fits better, and it's that easy. You can get 3D previews of the final as well, like this. Their products are very high quality too, and they offer really competitive product pricing, not to mention up to 30% off with Printful Growth and 55% off bulk orders. That's huge if you do limited merch drops or sell at conventions. If that's not enough, you don't even have to worry about paying super expensive international shipping fees, because Printful has printing hubs stationed across the globe so that the shipping is both fast and cheap. It doesn't matter whether you're on Etsy, Shopify, or TikTok Shop, Printful can seamlessly connect with all these platforms, so once you get an order, it goes directly to Printful and they take care of everything after that for you. You can start your own print-on-demand store today. It takes like 15 minutes to set up. Go to printful.com or use my link below to get started. Back to the video. If we look past the colors, which hopefully was pretty straightforward, the next thing you'll notice are the forms or shapes themselves. This doesn't jump out to me like the colors did, because these are actually more subtle and plays to the subconscious a little more. But if you really pay attention, Rhino is doing this using 3 different avenues. Body type in Rhino's work doesn't really vary too much, so we'll be skipping this. But just briefly, you can absolutely play with this in your own drawings as well. What I want to focus on here is the way Rhino uses posing and clothing to control the silhouette and shapes of the overall design to better reflect their personality and also to match the motifs in the reference. Even in some of the previous examples we looked at, we can quickly see this idea being used. The twin tail hairstyle on the Discord character that reflects the shape of the logo, or the shape of the chameleon being reflected as the pirate hat here. It could be the overall shape language of the subject, this chunky looking koala and its ears here directly borrowed across to the character's silhouette and hairstyle here. In this specific example, fashion and hairstyle is the main movers here to create that same silhouette. Same thing with this penguin character here. Since penguins have this more thick rounded silhouette, it's very hard to recreate that look by using a normal body type, right? No, by changing the clothing of the character into a jumpsuit and very specifically unzipping it to the bottom, we get the silhouette that's very similar to the penguin. This also makes the arms look shorter to mimic the little penguin flippers. This Pilates character is more so about the pose that was inspired by the flamingo. The clothing itself has very little influence from the flamingo. It seems like nothing can stop this man really, and all of these examples have such creative solutions. It feels like black magic sometimes, but Rhino is just really good at what's called lateral thinking. Because we have set a bunch of rules in the beginning for ourselves, if we just follow this box, we'll end up with a very boring and straightforward looking drawing. Finding parallels and unexpected connections like this will counterbalance that rigidness. I find writing them down or using mind maps especially useful for coming up with these creative associations. And there's one final ingredient to bring everything to the next level, what I call the Rhino Tuna experience. Because if you just open the comments, 80% of the comments only care about finding that little tuna he puts in every character design. And it's things like this that brings drawings from decent to memorable. With details, the one thing you want to actively think about is what is the vibe of the character and how can I amplify that vibe. I mean, this applies not just to character design but any drawing you do. The design of these cookies is already giving you a color scheme. Blue and yellow are usually royalty colors, and the cookies themselves are decadent and rich if you've tried them before, further giving off this noble vibe. So all Rhino has to do is to go down this route by adding the maids and the butlers, the cats and cookies in her dress, all suggesting royalty directed by the color scheme and the branding of the cookies. But what if your reference gives you absolutely nothing to work with? Like, what kind of vibe can we possibly get from blackberries and a shower head? I know it's very subtle story-wise, like this at first glance doesn't relate to blackberries at all. But notice how the colors still follow that same 7, 20, and 10 rule we talk about, with the base being black, and then we have the reds, then finally green being the accent color here. The shape language of the puffer jacket still follows the shape of the berries, and a bunch of details scattered around to make the scene more interesting in general. Hold up, why is there a chocolate bar there? Is she coming home to her husband or boyfriend? So many questions. Tuna. I guess with details, the mentality is for people to discover them. By thinking like a designer, you carefully arrange the details across the drawing like these mini mouse traps scattered around the piece. And let's finally look at the strawberry girl from the start of the video, one of my favorites from Rhino. The entire outfit and hair is this bright red that matches the strawberry. But what makes the design more interesting to look at are these little white embroideries on the sleeves and the little, I don't know what they're called, like the pattern holes that resembles the little seeds on the strawberry skin. You get what I mean. And of course, this little sprinkle of green around the hair to match the leaves at the top as well. Everything just comes together in one nice package right here, and these details absolutely make the girl more strawberry than she already is. All three of these plays a role in shaping your art, and this works on a macro scale across multiple drawings, as well as within a single drawing. This was a fun video to make. My videos are usually a little more straightforward, but I tried to make something different this time. I would love some feedback, like is it confusing or does it make sense? If you want me to make more of this type of stuff, leave a comment down below. While you're on it, here's some more videos where I talk about mindsets as an artist, so give them a click. Bye!